Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll, and today I come to you with a video about Trudy and also to talk about a subject that Elizabeth Rennick brought up. So first let's talk about Trudy here, and along the way we'll put in the other conversation for Elizabeth Rennick. Alright, so this is Trudy's body right here. This is it right here. This is the inside of her body. This is the stuffing. Her body's been ripped apart. This down inside is the cardboard, where this round thing goes down inside of there, goes down inside that piece of cardboard, it holds it, and this is where Trudy, it's being rotated, her head is being rotated around and around so you can see the three faces. Okay, so now that we've got that under control, you see where I'm at and what I'm doing. Now I will be keeping the cardboard inside. That will be kept for her, of course. The stuffing will go, of course, because it's old and decrepit. But I want you to see how it was held within the body. It's always interesting to see how these dolls were made and designed. So there you go. Now, let's take another step here. I'm going to just bring it up a little bit here so you can see a little bit more. Okay, now I can come out to here. What have I been using on Trudy here? Now, I want to do some of this with you while I'm on here. Trudy, I took some of this stuff here. Now, this is not for everybody. There are some people who are going to say, no, I would never use it. There's others that others will say, oh yeah, I've used that before. This is what I used on her. I've been using this on my dolls for the last while. This is called spackling. Okay, now this is what I like about spackling. Okay, I take the doll, I always have a cloth with their composition head, and when I put the spackling on, I put a good glob of it going across her, and I'll do it again, coming up again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come across her head here like this. Let's take the forehead here so you can see what I'm about to do. This is P180 sandpaper, and I just go across and just start sanding away. I'm not sanding the compo, I'm just sanding the spackling. Now, for those who like to make their own compo up, who do out there, great. You don't have to use this. If you like your Millie Putt, like I do, go ahead if you want to. Way long ago, a lady asked me about spackling, and I didn't know much about it, and I thought, well, I'm going to look into it. And when I saw how soft it was, and that the sanding was so much less, I was like, woo, I like this. And I can manipulate this stuff to what I want it to do. And I'm going to show you why in a few minutes here. Now you see how thick that is on the forehead there, really nice and thick. I'm going to come across and just start sanding that. See how I'm getting all that off of there? That's what you want. I'm taking it right off. But I'm not taking it all off. You'll see in a minute what I'm doing here. Underneath is her eyebrow, so I got to be careful. I don't want to sand the eyebrow away, though it is imprinted right into the mold. There's her eyebrow coming through right here. You can see it right in here. Now you can see I took all this off the top here. Okay, now I'm going to come around to the side here. I'm going to start the side. Just going to keep sanding this away. All right, I've been quiet for a few minutes here while I sanded this. Now, this isn't the perfect job. I will be dilly-dallying with it a little bit more. I go around and I go into places where it doesn't need to be. I'm just kind of going around. Okay, so now that I've got all that off, that was just full of spackling. I took the vast majority of it off, but what did it do? It filled in all those little nicks inside on this head where my knife might have hit, or just how it was to begin with. Through play or whatever, something might have just ticked it, you know, and dented the paint in. Why I have to have those filled is because if I don't, the paint will fall into that, and you'll see all these little divots in her head, and you can never fill them up with the paint. The paint just won't fill them up. So now here's a piece of compost sitting right there that I've kind of sanded. I'm wondering if I grab my knife wherever it may be. Let's see if I can find one here. I got plenty of them. Let's just see. This is kind of big, but let's go for it. See if we can get in there. Get that little piece of see how your knife kind of digs in. So you just put a little bit of that on. I don't want that knife. That knife is just a little bit too much for me. No, I don't want like that either. I have to find my other knife. I've got a knife around here that I really do like. So, but anyhow, as it may be, this is where I am with this. Sometimes you can sand these little pieces of, yeah, I think that's what I just did there. I just sanded it down. And you can almost take it off just that way. But what has happened is that spackling has filled in all those little areas now that when I paint, it will lay on top instead of trying to go into those little divots in her head. And hopefully we won't see all that. That's how many were in her head. Okay, little divots and whatnot that were just there. You can see them all across her head there. Here's places where she had little gouges when I took the paint out. Removing paint. Sometimes it takes some of the compo with it. The paint will take the compo with it. It could be just where her head was bashed. But anyways, Elizabeth Rennick gave a question. Can you find dolls cheap on eBay? I want to see where my time is. Okay, I got some time here. Are there reasonable dolls on eBay? Yes, there is. My problem is that when I'm going to be about, I don't know what side where you live, Elizabeth, but that being said, I live in Canada. So for me, when I buy dolls from out and about, your best place is your local area first. Always explore it and see if you can find dolls in your area. If you're not particular on what doll that I don't know if you collect a wide range of different dolls like I do, or do you collect a specific doll? If you're into specifics, then you're going to want places like eBay, Etsy, Mercari, sometimes Goodwill.com, Shop Goodwill it's called, .com. You can't pick your dolls on the Goodwill area. You just take whatever they put on there. It's like all of them, whatever's on there, but you might have a better chance at getting a doll is like on Ruby Lane that you're looking for. You can actually put in a search and look for that doll and keep searching and searching and searching on their search bar, that little tab they have there for searching. Just like eBay, you can search on those areas. When it comes to places like Shop Goodwill, whatever they put on is what you're going to buy. Now, can you buy reasonable dolls on eBay? Yes, you can. But I have a but in there all the time. But because I live in Canada, I have to think a little different. Because when I have a $40 doll, let's say I want to buy a $40 doll. I'm going to show you how a $40 doll becomes a little over $100 for me. Here it goes. I find a doll that I want for $40. Now I got to pay shipping. Then now, because I live in Canada, I have to pay duty and import charges on that doll if it's over $20, $25. So, because it's a $40 doll, we're looking at least on $40, about $10 to $15. Let's go to the larger end of that. We'll say $15. So now to ship the doll to me is $30. So my $40 doll, add $30 for shipping, is now $70. Then add the $15. Okay, on top of that is now $85. I'm not done yet. Now I have to put exchange on $85. Now I'm up to close to $90 to $100. There's my $100 doll. That $40 doll now becomes $100. So I have to say to myself, is that $40 doll worth $100 to me? Yes, sometimes they can be, because somebody who puts the doll on there doesn't know what they have. And that $40 doll is, I know I'm getting a very good doll. Sometimes a $40 doll is a $40 doll, and it's only going to be $40. And if I pay $100, I got to go, well, then I want the doll really bad and I don't care. Now, can I buy on Canada's side? Sure, I do. I do quite a bit. I buy on Quebec's, I'm between two provinces, Manitoba and Quebec. I can keep my shipping down if I buy from Quebec and Manitoba. Even across my country, Canada, I do buy from BC, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. I do buy from the East Coast as well. I buy from all over. Now, another way that you can buy too is that I buy from Australia a lot. I have bought several dolls from Australia. One thing about Australia and Canada, our dollars pretty close to one another. Sometimes we're a little higher, sometimes they are a little higher. But it's very neck and neck. But then I got to remember, I am going to pay a little bit more on shipping. And I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer for the doll because of distance. I do buy from Britain. The only thing is, your money has to go into the pound and then into the American money, and that doll can cost me a lot more money than even buying from the United States. So I'm being very careful. Have I bought from Britain? Yes, I have. Why? Because I wanted the doll. So again, it's desire. Desire will come in. If you want that doll and you want it bad enough, you won't mind putting out the extra dollars for it because it's worth everything to you to have it in your collection. But if it's a matter of money and you're really watching your pennies and everything, stay within your country and try to find out, if you're in the United States, whatever states that surround you, your surrounding states, try to get from that within your state and then surrounding you. And if you can't find that doll within that round, then you have to go further, and believe me, you're going to pay on the shipping because gasoline is not cheap out there anymore. And it's getting worse and worse, especially here in Canada. It is getting worse. We're going up again, apparently. So the thing is that always question yourself how much you want the doll. Is it worth it to you? If it is, don't question it anymore. Buy your doll. If you have the money, buy it. But yes, you can find reasonable dolls on eBay. So when I find a doll that's around the $20, $25 mark and I know it's worth a lot more money, yes, I have to restore it. That's another thing I didn't put in there too. Just to restore my doll back to its beauty again. And if I was going to sell the doll, I have to ask myself this question: can I get the money back out of the doll, at least for what I put into it? I mean, the buying power, the dollar power, that's what I'm looking at. Can I get my dollars back out of that doll? Dolls have fallen, the values. I have a lot of books here that I look at and I'm going, oh, I can get that doll a lot cheaper today than back then. Dolls held a higher value. A lot of Bis dolls at one time that were up there in the thousands, like have fallen underneath the $1,000, and they're more, you can collect them better today because the value is just not there in them. Now there are some that will make me a liar, and they're worth thousands of dollars, and they will, and they always will. It's a very peculiar area when it comes to dolls. I can be made into a liar very quickly. There will be some dolls that will always hold their value. You cannot get around it. Barbie will always hold her value depending on how well the Barbie was kept. But she has kept a pretty good value there. But the thing is that you have to understand what you want out of this, Elizabeth, and what your buying power is, and how bad you want the doll, and you'll pay it if you want it. And that's how I am. There's some dolls I wanted it and did not mind the price, and I did it, and I don't reveal that to anybody because it was my desire. Nobody understands your desire except you. I don't go putting that out there. I just say, here's a doll that I got, and I won't say anything about the price because some people wouldn't understand, but for me, I do. I get myself. So, you know, that's just how it goes. But there's some dolls, I'll tell you, yeah, I do, you know, get good prices on a lot of my dolls out there. Sometimes I have to prey on the ignorance of people who are putting the doll on there. It happens. Even in my thrift stores, they don't know what they have. People buy there's a lot of people online that buy a lot of stuff from thrift stores and then take it and find out it's worth a lot of money, and then they go sell it at online and whatnot. That's happening every day out there. We all get a little something from the thrift store. We find out it's worth a few more dollars than what they ever knew about. It is up to the seller to know what he has or she has in their possession before they put a price tag on it. It's up to them to look into it. If they don't and they just want to sell it, then that's their problem. That's just how it goes. And I can't dilly-dally over every doll that I buy and let them know, hey, do you know this doll could go? No, I'm not going to do that. I am out to buy my dolls, just like you're going to. And I want the best price possible for whatever I buy. So that being said, yes, you can buy reasonable dolls on eBay. But it all depends, like I say. I'm always measuring. You will measure in your own way as well. Before you cut the check, you know, you're going to check twice and make sure that you can cover it, and have happy time out there finding the dolls that you want. And if you got the moolah, you can buy almost anything you want, and if you don't care, you can buy anything you want out there. It is your world, your life, your doll collection. And but I know a lot of us are watching our pennies. I am always watching my pennies. And I save, and I save all the time for my little doll allotment. I have not bought as much off of eBay lately because of the reason that it is expensive for me. I am very picky now what I bring in. But I also have a lot of the dolls that I've been wanting through my life. The only doll there's a couple dolls that I'm still desiring. That's the 27-inch Shirley Temple baby and a sissy doll. I can't think of too many others on the side that I'm really wanting now. I feel that I've completed my collection pretty good. They're still in the Barbie world. I'm very weak in. I'm still strengthening that part up over time. But that's the journey and the fun of it and the exciting part. And, you know, again, I might pay a little bit more than what somebody else thinks it's worth.